Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you all for being here. Thank you so much for bearing with us. I cannot begin to describe what this morning has been like. As you heard, there's an active fire going on in one of the buildings where we were scheduled to present. So particularly to those of you on Zoom, thank you so much for your patience. We are glad you're here. And again, my name is Jennifer Musick. I'm a professor in public health sciences here at LBCC. I am also the liaison for the LINK program, which I will be talking about shortly. And we have a peer ambassador here. This is Andrea.
Hello, everyone.
And you'll hear from Andrea in a moment. Okay, so the title of today's presentation is On the Road from Long Beach City College to Cal State Long Beach and Cal State Fullerton. And we are part of the LINK program, which is a collaboration between local community colleges, Cal State Long Beach and Cal State Fullerton. We are grant funded by the USDA, which is the US Department of Agriculture. And because we are grant funded by them, they have a long-term goal of diversifying the workforce for people who want to work in chronic disease prevention. So because of that, we're focusing on three main majors today: public health, kinesiology, and also nutrition. So this is an intro to public health class that I am talking in live. For those of you on Zoom, you may be with a different major. It doesn't really matter what your major is. We'll be going over general transfer information that I think should be valuable for everyone. Okay, so just very quickly, I wanted to get a sense of where you all are in the transfer process. Do you currently have a major declared? Are you in the process of looking into schools? Maybe you're already planning to transfer. Those of you on Zoom, if you want to do a quick in the chat, and then those of you here with us in the classroom, how many of you have a major declared? Okay, how many of you public health, nutrition, kinesiology? And is anyone planning to transfer for next fall, 2024? Okay, again, this should be beneficial to all of you, no matter where you are in the transfer process. Okay, so today we are going to go over transfer requirements and programs. We're going to focus again on Cal State Long Beach and Cal State Fullerton, different degree options within those three majors at those schools. We will talk about any upcoming transfer events. You're going to get a chance to hear from three of our peer ambassadors. These are students who started off at a community college just like you all. They all had different journeys, and they're going to give you some tips and recommendations. All right. So just in general, there are two pathways for transfer. The first one, and we can make this available for you guys. I know it's hard to see these slides, but the first pathway is you simply take the major specific requirements for your degree, okay? And those are used to evaluate your transfer. The second pathway is something called an associate degree for transfer. So who's heard about the ADT, or associate degree for transfer? Okay, well, that's great. For those of you who have not heard of it, that implies that there is a specific corresponding major at the Cal State that you will be transferring to. And you can go to the next slide, Frank. So if you are interested in learning about either of those two pathways, we do have a QR code you can scan for more information, and we can make that available to you. Next slide. Also, just a reminder, if you are planning to transfer for fall 2024, we are in that process right now with an application deadline of November 30th. A little bit more about the associate degree for transfer. So this is different from the AA degree that is available at local community colleges. it implies there's a specific transfer program at the Cal State. The associate degree for transfer, if you want to do that pathway, that is something you need to apply for here at LBCC. And you can do that simply by talking with your counselor. There is a little bit of a benefit to taking the associate degree for transfer route. And that is that it bumps your cumulative or overall GPA up by 0.1%. So it gives you a little bit of an edge when you apply and they are ranking candidates. It doesn't guarantee admission, but it does give you that little bump up for your cumulative GPA. Okay, next slide. Now, the three majors that we're focusing on today, public health, nutrition, and kinesiology. We do have an associate degree for transfer program in all three of those areas here at Long Beach City College. So that's really good news for you all. I have an example up. I don't know if you guys can see it. Those of you on Zoom can see it here. But if you go to LBCC's main homepage and you look under academic programs, you will see public health sciences. And this lays out all the information about the associate degree for transfer. Next slide. And it also gives you what's called a program mapper. So it maps out all of the courses that you would take. It's meant to get you transferred within 2 years. Of course, sometimes it takes longer, but it maps out all of those courses that you would need to take. Okay. And then, whoops. Just two of our, next slide, Frank. There we go. Two of our core classes for the associate degree for transfer program I've listed here. One is Contemporary Health Issues or Health Education 3. And then the other one is Intro to Public Health. So those of you in the room, you're taking one of the core classes right now, which is fantastic. You are knocking one of those requirements off. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, at this point, I am going to turn it over to our peer ambassador. This is Andrea Rodriguez, and she's going to just give you, at a glance, a quick look at Cal State Long Beach and Cal State Fullerton.
Thank you. All right, so I'm just going to share some statistics from fall of 2021 just to give you a little bit of an idea for admission. So at Cal State Long Beach, they received 7,751 applications, and then from those, 2,052 students were admitted, and then their cumulative average GPA was 3.42, but this doesn't necessarily mean that all students received higher or lower GPA than that. And then at Cal State Fullerton, they received 3,376 applications. And then from those, 1,842 were admitted. And then their average cumulative GPA was 3.37. And this is really just to say that either college makes it a great place to obtain your degree from, and then also providing and offering a diverse campus as well. We can do next slide. Yes. Perfect. All right, so now we're going to move on to discuss different degree options at both campuses. But before we move forward, we just want to see if you guys have any questions so far. Okay. Thank you. All right, so these majors or degree options are part of the College of Health and Human Services at CSU Fullerton. There are other options available, but we are only covering the following. So you can do an option in public health with a concentration in health education and promotion, or public health nutrition. And then there is also kinesiology for those who are interested, and you can do a concentration in exercise science, general studies, or recreation fitness and health promotion. And then students at CSUF are automatically coming in as general studies. And then from there, students can select electives to tailor their curricula. And then they can also select a concentration. Just keep in mind that there are minimum GPA requirements to do so. All right, so these are some of the degree options for CSULB, also a part of the Health and Human Services Department. So you can do dietetics and food administration with an option in food science or nutrition and dietetics. Next is health science with an option in community health education, or I know they do also have school health education if you would like to be a teacher teaching a health course in high school as well. And then lastly, we do also offer kinesiology with an option in fitness or exercise science as well. Okay, so next we are going to talk about some of the possible career options that you might want to consider. So if you are interested in these, we do recommend majoring in nutrition, health science, or public health, and then also kinesiology. So exercise professionals are passionate about physical fitness, sports, and athletic performance. Exercise science professionals work in physiology, biomechanics, and motor control / learning. They help improve cardiovascular function and overall human performance. And then fitness professionals do create customized exercise and wellness programs that promote active lifestyles by increasing physical performance, strength, endurance, and flexibility. And then food science is the basic science and applied science of food. Its scope starts at an overlap with agricultural science and nutritional science as well. And then also leading through scientific aspects of food processing, informing the development of new food technology. And then specifically for this class, if you are interested in health science or public health, a community health worker provides culturally appropriate health education and information, and may also want to advocate for community needs within their community. And then a health educator helps to develop programs to teach people about conditions that do affect their well-being. And they work in settings like hospitals, nonprofit organizations, government agencies, and other health departments as well.
Okay, and just a quick note that public health is such a diverse field. There are so many opportunities. I've listed just a few here. A couple areas of focus. One is biostatistics, if you are into statistics and math. Community health and health education, Andrea spoke about that. Environmental health is exactly what it sounds like. So if you are passionate about climate change or any environmental health issues. Epidemiology is the study of diseases and infections. Maternal and child health, if you're passionate about that. And then occupational health and safety. And again, these are just a few options. There's many more. If you have an interest in nutrition, if you want to work in gerontology or with specific populations.
All right, so now we'll review opportunities for those who applied and received acceptance to either CSULB or CSUF. All right, so we do encourage students to visit their prospective campuses just to get a better idea of the school culture and environment at each of the campuses. This will also give you a chance to visit different offices and meet with representatives to learn about student services, campus life, and then also getting tips from faculty, advisors, and other transfer students. This will also help you prepare for your orientation, advising, and registration. And then lastly, we do recommend to attend campus tours and then also events on campus, such as Become a Titan Day for CSU Fullerton, and then also beach days at CSU Long Beach. All right, so I'm first gonna let you know a little bit more about myself and my educational journey. So like you guys, I was also a transfer student from a community college. So my community college was Ventura College, which is like 2 hours away in Ventura County. There I was actually a pre-nursing major. I was very set stone about being a nurse and being on that path. And then I also graduated in 2019 with my associate in arts for natural sciences or mathematics. But during my gap years and a little bit before graduating, I did start to work as a certified nursing assistant. But then that's when I realized I didn't really enjoy that clinical setting. So that's when I decided that the nursing path was no longer for me, which was very hard for me to decide because I was so head on about that. But I'm here now. And so My journey was not linear like most, so that's okay. But with my major in track, I was able to pursue a bachelor's in health science for community health education. And then that's when I transferred to CSU Long Beach, just because I did like how diverse the campus was, and also felt like there were a lot of different options for me and programs that I could join in on. It's also a bit closer to home, which was important for me in my decision making. And I wasn't really sure like what to expect when I got there, but I was just excited to see if this major really was for me. And I'm a senior now, so this is my last year, and I really have enjoyed this major and learning different like health behaviors and how I can really help the community improve their well-being. And then I also did work as an elementary health technician during my gap years, and that did make me realize that I do want to work with kids, but in a slightly different role with them. Next. All right, so this is a little bit about my training experience. So I began at the Center for Latino Community Health my first year as a transfer student. So I was a Link Scholar with them. And in this program, they help you complete a leadership academy where you get to learn a little bit more about your leadership skills and develop those skills as well. And then I also attended workshops on nutrition and disease prevention, and then also professional development. This is also the first time that I started to conduct research with my mentor, so that was a bit scary, but I've really enjoyed working with her and on her projects. So I was paired with a mentor that semester, and then was able to conduct research. And then I'm also continuing with the center this year as an Andale scholar. So I will be able to continue doing that research. I can give you like a quick snippet about the research I do. So we're trying to learn how thought patterns and discrimination experiences can lead to worsened health outcomes for African American and Black women right now. So that's a little bit about the work that I do. But besides that, in this lab, I've been able to help analyze different types of data. I also work in recruitment efforts for the study, and then also working on developing an abstract to submit to a conference. So through the center and the Heart Lab with my mentor, I've been able to really grow professionally and personally, and have been able to find that sense of community that I was looking for, and then also have a network of resources. All right, so lastly, my recommendations to you are to make connections with your professors and peers, especially if they are in the same program as you, just to help you with the application process, because I know it can seem kind of daunting. So just make sure you do have support in that sense. And then you may also want to think about finding a sense of community and belonging on those campuses. So I would just keep that in mind when deciding what campus you do want to attend. And then also seeing what types of programs and support groups are available on campus. A lot of these programs do help underrepresented students like EOPS and TRIO, and then other programs like McNair and Build that I know are on CSULB campus to help students who want to pursue a PhD degree or a master's degree as well. And then I would also meet regularly with an academic counselor each semester just to make sure you are on track and completing all that coursework before you transfer or graduate. And then I would also work and volunteer at places that do align with your interest or career. The sooner you do start to gain these experiences, the more you'll be able to see what you like and what you don't like, and then start to get an idea of what you might want as a career path. I also recommend having a financial plan. So just make sure you are applying to FAFSA on time, looking into scholarships on the campuses and different job opportunities as well. And then lastly, is just learning how to get out of your comfort zone. I would just be open to trying new things and new opportunities. I know that can be kind of scary, but I feel like that's when you know growth is about to happen. So I do really recommend that. But being in these programs has really pushed me to be the best version of myself and has really challenged me to grow. So for that, I'm very grateful to have my mentor and then also be with the center as well.
Hi, I'm Pauline Lim, and I transferred from Cypress College to Cal State Fullerton. In Cypress College, I did dental hygiene for like 3 months, and then I switched to health information technology. and graduated with the associate's degree in health information technology. So once I transferred to Cal State Fullerton in fall 2022, I decided to pursue a bachelor's in public health with a concentration in environmental occupational health and safety and minoring in public administration. So some of my training experiences, I started getting exposed to research in a summer research experience, which it in summer 2021. And it was a pipeline program of Cypress College and Cal State Fullerton. So during that 6-week period, I got to know a lot of people from Cal State Fullerton, like faculties and students. So that really helped me transition to Cypress College, to Cal State Fullerton. And then I also have once I got into Cal State Fullerton, I got to experience a lot of different programs there. And here's a list of the programs that I participated in while I was in Cal State Fullerton. And all of these programs have professional development and networking opportunities with other students as well, and getting more skills that I can use in the public health field. Here are some of my recommendations to just succeed in the transfer process and at the same time being a student. This is what works for me and made things easier for my transition. So definitely the top one would be exposure to research, because like I've mentioned, the summer research experience made everything much more smoother and helped me figure out that what I really wanted to do for my bachelor's. And then making connections will make it a lot more easier for us to be able to transition better, because we already made some connection with people in that particular school. So it helps with asking questions, which is the next one that I was talking about. Sometimes other people don't know what help you needed, so asking question, initiating that question can actually help them figure out what help you needed. And then skimming your emails. A lot of the opportunities that I got was from just looking at my emails and going through the process of just figuring out which ones could help me and improve myself. And then being present, not having a lot of different things, and concentrating and focusing on what you're doing at that particular time. I think that's very important as well, because it helps you focus and it helps with retaining the things that you need to learn. And then managing your time and schedule, that is something that we all struggle with. But as you do it each day or each semester, then you'll get better at it and you'll be a pro at it at the end. And building your relationship with professors, we sometimes think that professors, they're just there, but we forget that they're also helping us with gaining more connection, and they are our resources as well. So remember that. And lastly, resting when needed. Sometimes we forget that we're humans and we need to rest too. So never forget to rest and eat when needed. Thank you.
My name is Shayna Guerra and I'm a peer ambassador for the LINK program. I'll go ahead and talk about LINK in a moment, but for now, I'll go ahead and get started with my educational background. So I started my college education at LBCC. I received my associate's degree in kinesiology in the spring of 2022. During my time at LBCC, I was part of the TRIO Go program, which caters to first-generation underrepresented students. The program offered academic and personal advising, among other services. I was also accepted into the Delta Alpha Pi Honor Society, This is an academic society for high achieving students with disabilities. I was a cabinet officer at DAPI and facilitated educational workshops for other student groups on campus. So after graduating from LBCC, I immediately transferred over to Cal State Long Beach. It was my top choice, so I was very excited when I got accepted. I'm majoring in kinesiology with an option in exercise science. I was also accepted into the EOP program, which also serves first generation underrepresented students through financial and academic means. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a peer ambassador for the LINK program. LINK stands for Leveraging Interdisciplinary Nutritional Knowledge. This is a scholar program which is geared towards underrepresented students in the food and human sciences studies and emphasizes Latino nutrition through outreach, mentoring, educational workshops, support services, research, and externships within the community. I first heard about LINK when I was at LBCC getting ready to transfer over. I decided to apply and I was accepted. So the program is a year-long commitment. So as I was starting my first semester here at Cal State Long Beach, I was also starting my journey as a LINK scholar. Through LINK, I was matched with my mentor, who is a kin professor here at the beach. I began doing paid research with her earlier this year during the spring semester, and she actually asked me to continue working with her. So I'm still involved in research this fall semester. Our goal is to submit for publication by the end of the year, so I'm very excited for that. And I'll be graduating from Cal State Long Beach next spring. My career goals are to become a physician assistant. So after graduation, I will take a gap year to start accumulating more volunteer and patient care hours, which are required for application to PA school. My dream school is USC. They have an amazing PA program. As far as PA specialties, I'm interested in sports medicine, orthopedics, and neurology. Next slide. Okay. So why did I major in kinesiology? Well, I've always lived a very active lifestyle. I was a dancer for over 10 years. I won 2 national titles when I was in high school. I fell in love with the gym and weightlifting around that same time. So I've always been very active. But a few years ago, I had a couple of very serious health issues, which led me to undergo a lot of rehabilitation. During my time doing rehab, I worked with a lot of PTs and OTs, as well as a lot of athletic trainers. And I basically fell in love with the field of kinesiology. So once I returned to school over at LBCC, I decided to switch my major from biology to kinesiology, which is why I was able to receive my associate's degree in kin. Once I became a kin major, Cal State Long Beach automatically became my top school to transfer over to because they do have the most established and renowned kin department out of all of the CSUs. Most of the kin faculty here have their PhDs and they are actively involved in some type of research, which offers great opportunities for kin students. And just from my first year at Cal State Long Beach, I can genuinely say that my passion and interest for the field has grown immensely, so I have no regrets over my decision. Next slide. So lastly, I want to touch on some recommendations that I have for incoming transfer students. First and foremost, when you're submitting your transfer applications, go ahead and do some research on programs and scholarships that are offered at the schools that you're transferring and applying to. If something catches your eye, just apply. You don't lose anything from taking a chance and applying. Being a part of scholar programs such as LINK or academic programs such as EOP will look really good on your resume. Second, get involved in undergrad research. I know Cal State Long Beach has an undergrad research center where students can go and find out more about research opportunities available on and off campus. Or if you happen to meet a professor that you like or that you really connect with, I would suggest asking them if they're involved in any research of their own. Professors really love when you show interest and initiative. Also, getting involved in research during your undergrad career will boost your resume and make you way more competitive when you're applying to grad school if that's something you're interested in pursuing after your bachelor's. Third, be consistent as a student, especially once you've transferred over to a four-year university. Stay on top of your grades. If you're having trouble with a specific class, go to office hours or make an appointment at your tutoring center. I know people say that C's get degrees, but honestly, if you're interested in grad school, I would really recommend having a higher GPA because it really does matter and it makes a difference. I've been able to maintain a 4.0, but that really did come with a lot of commitment and sacrifice on my end. So if you really want it, you really can achieve it. Fourth, find your passion. Once you transfer, you will have so many more opportunities available to you. So get involved in activities on and off campus, make new friends, join a club, find a mentor, volunteer, get involved in research if you can. All of these things will bring you closer to finding your passion, finding your interests, and just getting you one step closer to finding what you want to do with your life. Lastly, as busy and overwhelming as it may get to be, to live life as a college student, don't forget to make time for yourself. Make self-care a priority. Self-care means something different for everyone. So whatever fulfills you, go ahead and do that as often as you can so that your mental health is taken care of, and then therefore you can go and perform better as a student. Okay, well, that's it for me. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my experiences and my advice.
Okay, so what now? Just to kind of summarize everything. To prepare for transfer. And again, these are great recommendations for anyone. It doesn't matter where you are in the transfer process. Meet with your academic counselor. You want to make sure you're on the right track. If you are interested in pursuing that, the ADT, Associate Degree for Transfer, talk to your counselor about it. Secondly, and both of our peers mentioned this, I'm going to reiterate, get to know your professors, make relationships with faculty. Professors, believe it or not, are really happy to connect with you. So if you're taking a class that you really enjoy, go by office hours, get to know your professors. You may need a letter of recommendation in the future, and it's always good if your professor knows you a little bit. Thirdly, utilize the resources that we have here on campus. We have so many resources: tutoring, reading and writing center, math success center, study groups. As you're doing your research, start off online, look at different college campuses, see what programs are available. Start thinking about where you might want to go. Check out the transfer center here on campus. They also have transfer boot camps. So much information to help you guys in that process. And then form campus connections, study groups. It really is helpful when you are with like-minded peers. You guys can study for tests together. That's where you might find out about other opportunities, internships, etc. Okay, last slide. So to wrap it all up, we again want to thank you all for being here and listening and bearing with us with all the technical difficulties. My information is here, so take a screenshot. Please feel free to reach out to me. My email, jmusick@lbcc.edu. Again, I am in the Public Health Sciences Department. If you have questions about public health, career opportunities, what is public health, should you major in public health, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I am a transfer liaison, so that's what I am here for. And then our peer ambassadors have also made themselves available if you have questions about the transfer process or about different campuses. So next slide. These are peer ambassadors. We have Andrea, who you met in person today. Shayna, you saw the video. Remember, she's majoring in kinesiology. Andrea is in health sciences, which is essentially public health. If you are interested at Cal State Fullerton, you can reach out to Pauline Lim. She is majoring in public health. She's specializing in occupational health and safety, which is something we didn't really get to talk about today. But she is also available for you to answer any questions. And final slide, those of you who would like to be on an email list to receive more information, this is specific to the LINK program. But again, if you are interested in majoring in kinesiology, public health, or nutrition, and interested in transferring, you might want to scan this QR code and get on the email list. You will be receiving emails about things such as major specific transfer orientations. You can visit the campus. You can meet with other students that are pursuing those majors at both Cal State Long Beach and Cal State Fullerton. And I think that is it. We have, what's the time, Frank? We may have time for just a
12:05, so we're good.
Okay, we have time for just a few questions. Go ahead. So health administration is a subset of public health, and I know that Cal State Long Beach in particular has a program in that. Yeah. So Andrea, do you?
They do. I don't know like too much about, I do have like a friend who is a part of that program. Oh, sorry. Hi. Who was a part of that program as well. And I know for their last year, they do an internship for both semesters to kind of really get you in that field to have that hands-on experience as well.
Do we have other questions? Yes.
Is there, because I'm majoring in nursing and also want to do public health, does nursing fall under like anything?
Yes, great question. So the question was, what if you are majoring in nursing? It is such a great combination to have a nursing major as well as a public health background. There is a specific career called public health nursing, and it is not so much working one-on-one in the clinical setting, but rather going out into the community. So for example, I once shadowed a public health nurse, and we went out into the community, in particular, visiting people with chronic health problems that needed follow-up. Some of the clients were unhoused, living on the streets. Some of the clients were living in hotels. So it's more outreach nursing in the community. Okay, other questions? Is there any, did you have a follow-up question? Cal State Long Beach, I do not know if they have public health nursing. Do you know off the top of your head?
Sorry, say that again.
Or public health nursing?
I believe nursing is like its own different application.
Yeah, so what you do, when you public health nursing, what they recommend is one, you do a nursing degree, and then separately you would do a public health either certificate, associate's degree, or a bachelor level. Yeah.
Okay, do we have questions from the chat? Frank? No questions from the chat.
As chef, where do you see public health? Can you help me? Do you have ideas? I'm looking into being a chef. So like nutrition.
Oh, okay. So if you are majoring in the culinary, if you are a culinary major, I would definitely look into our nutrition program here at Long Beach City College. You can get an associate degree in nutrition if that is what your focus is. If you are going to continue in the culinary department, please come and take some public health classes. We do go over nutrition. We take more of a community look at nutrition. We talk about things like food deserts. We talk about availability of healthy, affordable food. And that absolutely could fit in with the culinary program. So please come check out, take a intro to public health class. And then I would also recommend that you take courses in the nutrition program.
And then Josue has to apply for transfer for fall 2024. Do we speak to a counselor, or are the transfer counselors who we need to speak with?
I would start with, so the question was to apply, if you're planning on transferring for fall 2024, Get started soon. Now is the time. I would start with meeting with your academic counselor, but also just check out the Transfer Center website. Great place for just some basic information. But again, that deadline is approaching. It's the end of November. And so you don't want to hesitate. Yeah, I would do both, Transfer Center and your academic counselor. Any other questions? Okay, we are going to stop the recording at this point, and if you have additional questions, you've got our contact information. Please feel free to reach out. Thank you all.